This little gated neighborhood might be the most equidistant community in the entire city of Dubai and one of the best investment opportunities in 2025. So stay with me in this entire video because I'm going to be talking about the location where this project is located, the community as a whole, the latest project, and the best payment plan, or one of the best payment plans that you're ever going to come across this year. This community is developed by Infracorp, which is the real estate development arm of GFH, or Gulf Finance House. Now, GFH is one of the most prominent investment institutions here in the GCC. They're listed in 4 stock exchanges here: Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Kuwait, and Bahrain. Headquartered in Bahrain, they have projects in multiple countries across the globe, like Tunisia, Morocco, India, and now the UAE. And they manage assets worth billions of dollars in various sectors like real estate, infrastructure, private equity, healthcare, and education. Now, let me walk you through a 3D model of California Village as a gated community, right? If you come with me here, you can see that California Village is a very low-density community, primarily comprising villas and townhouses, and now apartments over here in the form of Phase 3. Phase 1 had 22 twin villas and townhouses. Phase 2 was divided into Phase 2A, B, C, and D, which had 212 twin villas and townhouses again. I personally have sold multiple townhouses over here in Phase 2. And investors, my investors particularly, they actually made a return on equity of between 80 to 100% as well. But today we're going to talk about Phase 3 of the community, which are the apartments called California Residences. Now, moving on to the enlarged 3D model of California Residences, we're talking about a low to mid-rise building of G plus 10 floors and 2 basement levels, around 30 amenities, most of which are located on the ground floor with retail, and as you can see, there's a swimming pool and a bunch of other amenities. You also have a sky garden on the roof. So we're talking about 35 units per floor from the 1st till the 10th floor, and 20 units on the ground floor. 25 units of 1 beds, 8 units of 2 beds, and only 2 units of 3 beds per floor. Now let me walk you through the location, and here is why I call this community the most equidistant community in Dubai. Starting off with where we are right now. This little yellow dot is California Village, or not so little dot. We have downtown with the Burj Khalifa over here, Dubai Marina here. And as you can see, we're very equidistant, roughly 20 to 25 minutes away from either downtown Dubai or the Marina, less than 10 minutes away from Global Village, which I'm sure you've heard of, being a very tourist-centric attraction in Dubai. And one of the most important things is that this will have a metro line in the future, right next to California Village. That is proposed by the Dubai Development Authority. But looking at California Village right now, it is bang opposite the IMG World of Adventure. And most importantly, it is 25 minutes away from both the old Dubai International Airport, or the existing Dubai Airport, and the new Al Maktoum International Airport, which will be the largest airport in the world in terms of capacity. Now, that was a brief overview of the location, but let me walk you through the different layouts, the pricing. Now, what I like about this developer is that they've been very deliberate with the kinds of layouts they've offered for their 1-bed, 2-bed, and 3-bed options, and have multiple layouts for each particular option. Now, talking about the 1-beds, I've selected this particular layout just to give you an idea of what I mean in terms of spacious apartments, right? We have a U-shaped kitchen, which gives you the option of closing it. We have a storage room as well, which is not very common for a 1-bedroom apartment in Dubai. And like I said, they have different layouts averaging 800 square feet. And that gives you an option of tweaking and seeing what you prefer in terms of the balcony size, storage room size, maybe even the living space size in comparison with a bedroom. Now, what that means is that you put less thought into renovating your apartment and instead choose a layout that suits your particular requirement from the get-go in terms of how you'd like the kitchen size to be, the balcony size to be, the storage room to be. You can select that from the beginning itself before it is even finished and handed over. As you can see, this is another 1-bedroom layout, which is one of the larger layouts per se. A Type 8 on the ground floor, 890 square feet to be precise. And what they've done is that they've utilized this extra space by providing you with a larger living and dining area in proportion to your other spaces. So what I'm trying to say is that you basically have choices whether you'd like to have a larger balcony, a larger living and dining space, or even a larger bedroom in proportion to the other spaces that I've mentioned. Now, moving on to the 2-bedroom layouts, we're talking about an average size of 1,300 square feet. And I would like to bring your attention to how thoughtfully designed these layouts are. For example, take this layout into consideration. You have a large balcony that is shared between both the 2 bedrooms along with the living room, and a second balcony, private balcony for your master bedroom as well, along with your storage room and your U-shaped kitchen, which you have an option of closing. And again, you have multiple layouts to choose from for the two-bedroom options as well. For example, there's actually a layout that has up to 3 storage rooms in your apartment, if that's what you value and prefer in terms of having more storage spaces in your apartment. But then again, you have different options to choose from depending on what you like in particular. And finally, coming to my favorite unit type here in California residences, the 3-bedroom apartments, because they come in 2 distinct layouts, one being more investor-centric, the other being more homeowner-centric. Like this one. This one is the homeowner-centric layout because it's nearly 1,800 square feet. You have an ensuite in every bedroom. You have a U-shaped kitchen, of course, that you can close. You have 2 storage areas, one main storage room and the other being a utility or a laundry room, and a balcony that is shared between the living spaces and 2 bedrooms in the apartment. Now remember what I said about an investor-centric 3-bedroom layout? Let me break down what I mean. We're looking at a price per square foot of 1,400 dirhams per square foot for all these units in this community. The 1 bedroom's averaging 1.2 million, the 2 bedrooms averaging 1.6 million. But for the 3 bedrooms, this homeowner-centric layout that I just showed you is nearly 2.5 million because it is obviously a larger layout. The investor-centric layout is nearly 1,300 square feet. Of course, it's of a smaller size, but we're talking about a 3-bedroom apartment in a gated community that is priced at nearly 1.8 million dirhams. I mean, that's the price of a 1-bedroom apartment in places like Business Bay or the Marina, for example. So investors, listen to me. By the time this is handed over, we're looking at a capital appreciation over the course of 3 years, as and when this area develops even further, being right next to Global Village, having a mall like Cityland Mall right now, being in between Business Bay and the Marina, 25 minutes apart, and sandwiched between 2 major highways, the E311 and the D54, with metro connectivity in the future as well, as planned by the Dubai Development Authority, right next to California Village. So I would expect 20 to 30% capital appreciation over the course of 3 years, as and when you want to resell it, of course. Now, you pretty much know what you need to know about California residences. However, I'd also like to touch upon the payment plan because we're talking about a post-handover payment plan of 3 years. A handover slated for Q2, second quarter of 2028, roughly 3 years from now, and a down payment of 20%, 1% per month for 34 months, 10% on handover, and 1% per month for 36 months or 3 years. As I mentioned, one of the best investment opportunities for an apartment in Dubai because you'd be able to resell after 30% and maximize your return on equity. Now, if you'd like to talk more about numbers and if you'd like to discuss strategy, I've mentioned my details below, so feel free to reach out to me at any point.